Yo, so basically Kaspa is dipping again. Probably you are asking yourself a question, what the heck is going on, right? So Kaspa dipped again 21%, well, almost 21%. Guys, we are going to look at TAs and overall market sentiment and all of the data that I have gathered for you, right? So guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, consider subscribing, and of course a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. Now, let's actually start with some news, alright? Why delaying listing Kaspa? Tier 1 exchanges know the game. Accumulating 100 million Kaspa at 10 cents costs 10 million. Push the price to $1? Well, that's 90 million profit. At $5, 490 million profit. At $10, nearly 1 billion. And of course, guys, I'm not saying that Kaspa is going to reach $10, but obviously that's the game, right? These exchanges obviously are not being paid for listing Kaspa, okay? So the only way they can make money is basically to kind of accumulate before they are going to allow people to invest. So they basically pump their backs this way, right? I believe this is the game. Is it fair? Well, maybe not, right? But crypto game isn't obviously fair, guys, right? You have to remember about this, okay? It's basically player versus player. But of course, guys, you are watching the channel, and I'm pretty sure not only mine, and you know the game, right? You're accumulating for a long time, and I do believe that these times are kind of good times to accumulate our beloved Kaspa. Now, guys, let's go to, well, basically bullish news. 10 BPS, blocks per second, is near complete. And imagine when smart contracts are in place next year. I do believe that these smart contracts are planned for January, and also we could see maybe in January Kraken is going to actually list Kaspa, right? At least Kraken is very straightforward and very honest about the listing. Obviously they've got Kaspa on the plan, right, to list, and also they got Arweave. So guys, I'm not saying to, you know, accumulate only Kaspa. Obviously that's heck of a bullish project, right? We all believe in it. However, as I'm always saying, diversify your portfolio so you can basically maximize your gains. Now guys, let's look at another bullish piece of news. Senator Cynthia Lummis says we can pass the strategic Bitcoin reserve bill in the first 100 days of Trump's presidency. Guys, why am I telling you that? Obviously, all eyes are on BTC, and of course we saw a little bit of a pump for altcoins, so on and so forth, but I do believe that party is yet to come, that 90k is nothing for BTC. And of course, I'm not going to give you crazy prediction for BTC that's going to reach 1 million, although I believe it will. Perhaps not in this cycle, but sooner or later it will. We're going to get into BTC a little bit later. Now let's have a look at our beloved Kaspa. So as I was mentioning before, 20% of a dip for Kaspa. At the moment, Kaspa is basically being supported by well, the bottom of this channel. Stochastic RSI bottomed properly, and MACD basically is still experiencing this reversal, right? Let's have a look at the daily. What's going on Kaspa for the daily? Okay, so from the standpoint of the daily, guys, we are still kind of up from these lows that Kaspa put a couple of days ago, I believe, week or whatever, 5th of November, and Kaspa is, well, Kaspa basically saw 50%, well, almost 60 in fact, and at the moment we are still 28% up on Kaspa. So guys, the price obviously can shoot towards the upside like crazy, and maybe these gains for Kaspa are not as huge as with other alts, but still, guys, that's why I'm saying that you should be diversified, okay, in terms of your portfolio. Now, stochastic RSI on a daily is still in that overheated zone. What we can see is that MACD is basically going towards well, lower levels, right? That volume is basically decreasing, guys, so we can experience another pullback, right? Of course, considering the fact that BTC is experiencing a bit of a pullback, because I believe it reached kind of 90k. Let me actually quickly have a look. So BTC reached what, 90k 100 on Bitstamp, okay? So now obviously BTC experiencing a little bit of a pullback, and in this condition, you know, the whole altcoin cap is basically, you know, pulling back as well. Now guys, very important thing, okay? Answering a question, are you late to buy Kaspa? Well, let's have a look. This is BTC's dominance, right? So until this thing haven't dropped yet, I believe it's still early to buy Kaspa, right? Because, you know, we basically saw how much of percentage for BTC's dominance. We saw not even 3.5% of a drop in terms of dominance. But guys, this is what we are expecting. I don't know when exactly. Obviously, we are still not in altcoin season, but you saw how altcoins were flying. Imagine what's going to happen if BTC is going to drop to levels like these, right? Before to retest this support over here at 38% of market dominance for BTC. Guys, that's going to be huge for alts. These alts are going to be doing 10, 20, whatever X, and I believe, you know, the big party is actually yet to come. And at the moment, guys, BTC's dominance is pumping, right? So obviously in this scenario, altcoins are basically, well, going towards the downside, right? But let's have a look at USDT dominance, okay? Because that's very important chart that we have to pay attention to, okay? This is weekly. And at the moment, this is what's going on, okay? So potentially what we can see is some kind of, well, head and shoulders, obviously, in here for, well, not mentioning about this, but let's say if that dominance is going to go towards the upside and start forming in here, retesting this resistance slash support, depending if it's going to close above or below, and then form something like this, and then proper dump, you know, from the standpoint of technicals, of course, right? So guys, you know, we are going to have short-term turbulence. Obviously, you know, there's lots of liquidity to be yet to be flashed, okay? And that's it, right? However, if I'm going to zoom this thing out for the dominance, right, it's kind of no-brainer that dominance on a daily is going up, because this is a very important support over here for USDT dominance from the standpoint of technicals, right? Let me actually zoom this thing in a little bit, and let's see what's going on for the dominance, right? So guys, the first thing that I see, let me actually just zoom it out, okay? So we see that we've got this drop basically, and it looks like the dominance is kind of printing like a bear flag, right? Obviously, well, is it that easy? Guys, let's have a look, right? But let's see if that 4 hourly is actually going to get rejected, right? Considering the fact that stochastic RSI is, well, in these overheated levels, we potentially could consider this as a bearish retest for USDT dominance, and more money is going to be deployed into the markets, well, sooner rather than later. Now guys, for those that are basically wondering why Kaspa is still not pumping like it should, well, let's have a look at the zoomed out perspective for altcoins that are excluding top 10. All right, so as I was mentioning a while ago, I believe I did the video around 2 days ago, is that, you know, obviously we broke out of this, but we can experience retest of this level as a support, and that is going to flash a lot of longs, okay, because people are degenning like crazy. We could also consider this as a bull flag basically, right? Just like BTC saw, okay? So the bull flag, the so-called BS kind of a area for BTC that it was trading on for 7 months, right? This is basically still the case with these altcoins, guys. Obviously, this chart is going to be lagging behind Bitcoin because the money is going to flow into Bitcoin, then big caps, medium caps, and then our DGeny stuff, right? Of course, I'm not going to say that Kaspa is DGeny because obviously the market cap is sitting at what, around 3 billion USD, but you get the point, guys, right? We are still lagging behind, but that's of course good in my opinion because we still have some time to kind of deploy money into the market last time, although it's not financial advice, it's just my opinion, guys, right? So now let's have a look at dominance of these altcoins. So we can see, guys, in here that yes, we had a little bit of a pump, and that pump, let's actually measure this pump in terms of the dominance. That was what, 11, well, not even 12%, but if I'm going to zoom this out, you see how much of potential we have in terms of dominance. So guys, you know, obviously BTC's dominance and this chart's dominance is inversely correlated, okay? And guys, in my opinion, these are the last times to accumulate, right? And I'm not talking about Kaspa, I'm talking about, you know, just in general, whatever you believe. But I do highly suggest that you guys are going to go to Robinhood and see what is listed on Robinhood. And I know you're probably thinking, yeah, but I don't use Robinhood, but many people are. And they're not going to be going out there registering on multiple exchanges and buying different kind of coins. They are just going to buy something that basically, well, they know and it's easy to buy, all right? Once things are going to come back into, you know, green bubbles again. Now guys, if you are interested into keeping your Kaspa safe, but not only Kaspa, make sure that you check out Tanm Wallet, okay? This is definitely much better way to store your crypto because anything might happen on these exchanges, all right? So in case if exchange is going to go down, hashtag FTX, well, I'm not accusing any exchange right now, but you never know what's going to happen, right? It's crypto, it's kind of considered as a wild west, let's say, and there is unfair players in the market, right? So in case of there's going to be a huge volume and your exchange is not going to be able to, well, basically open, or it's going to go down, you can basically not give it an F and just send the money, well, your crypto to back to exchange, whichever exchange you use, and then basically sell it over there, or just actually swap it for USDT, right? So guys, with my discount code, you can get minus 10% off if you are going to type crypto space. You can find the link in the description down below. Now guys, let's have a look at the RSIs, all right? So 4 hourly, first of all, okay, this is overall picture, right? Doge is still in overheated zone. We've got Algorand, we've got XRP, and blah blah blah, right? So now small time frame for altcoins basically has, gone to neutral, and that I believe is a good sign. Let's have a look at 12 hourly. As you can guys see, 12 hourly, well, it's a little bit higher, but let's have a look at 24 hours. So we still got quite a bit of altcoins in this area, right? And this pullback potentially might not be over. So guys, we've got strong for all of these. However, on a weekly, we've got many of these in the neutral zone, right? So I do believe that there is more fuel in a tank. But speaking about more fuel in a tank, well, let's actually firstly cover ETFs, all right? Because we've got some bullishness in the market from the standpoint of ETF inflows, right? We've got 1.3, well, almost 1.4 billion dollars in terms of inflows, and another day of over 1 billion USD, guys. Now almost 1 billion, okay, as of yesterday, 12th of November, guys. This is just a beginning, I believe. Of course, not mentioning about Trump's plans for the strategic Bitcoin reserve, so on and so forth. Now let's have a look at how things are looking at from the standpoint of liquidity, basically. So on a daily, guys, everybody now is betting short, but obviously these shorts already happened, okay? So 7 daily, we are still basically more people are basically longing BTC, and I'm not saying that the price of BTC is going to pull lower, but it potentially could. So let's have a look at the heat map, right? This is Binance. They got the biggest liquidity. Now we've got a lot of liquidity in this area. So if Bitcoin would do a very quick wick down towards this area, 85K roughly, almost 86, that would build much more momentum in terms of liquidity for shorts, because people are going to put their stop losses in here, right? And then price can easily smash through 90K and actually surpass its previous all-time highs, right? Let's have a look at the weekly time frame from the standpoint of a little bit longer perspective. So this is what's going on, guys. I'm not saying that BTC is going to dump in here into 75, but well, could it go that way? Well, I wouldn't really bet on it, to being honest, guys, because obviously we've got a lot of bullish momentum in the market at the moment, but everything is possible with these leverages, okay? Now guys, as I said, we've got 90K in this level, and I do believe that the price can go higher, okay? However, be careful with these leverages. Now let's have a look at our beloved Kaspa, because I know that this is something that you guys want to listen about, right? So Bybit, everybody is shorting Kaspa on a daily, okay? And now let's actually put Kaspa on all of the exchanges. And again, on 7 daily, everybody is shorting Kaspa, guys. So, people are bearish again on Kaspa, but I guess they are bearish a little bit too late. So let's have a look at Bybit first of all on a weekly. So we've got lots of liquidity over here for Kaspa at 15 cents again. However, if Kaspa is going to dip into levels of 10, well, guys, this is definitely not out of the question. Obviously, there is a bit of a problem with liquidity for Kaspa because, we still don't have a lot of exchange listings. I mean, top tier exchanges, but, I was mentioning about it before. And until then, Kaspa is going to look for liquidity. And of course, while Bitcoin is still, basically experiencing its season, I believe that Kaspa still has time to kind of, trade in this range, right? However, in my opinion, personal opinion, it's definitely much safer to be in the market at the moment. Well, unless you are traders, right? It all depends on your strategy. So now guys, looking at very small time frame for Kaspa, 12 hourly on Bybit, we've got liquidity at 12 cents 9, and we've got liquidity at 13 cents 4, okay? Not mentioning about a little bit above 14 cents 0 to be exact, actually. Guys, expect that, a little bit of a volatility for Kaspa. And now guys, it all depends again if you trade or if you are just accumulating, okay? I believe that Kaspa is going to dip on a daily in a matter of 1 day. I believe that Kaspa is going to dip to levels of 12 cents 8 and flash this liquidity, and from there probably there's going to be much more momentum towards the upside, right? So now guys, looking at some bullish news and let's say technically predictions, right? We've got 2,700% of a pump for BTC once Trump became a president in his previous run in 2016, and at the moment Trump became a president again. So can we see 240? Because obviously we do have diminishing returns for BTC, but if that will be the case, that will be $280,000, guys. And imagine if BTC is going to 280 roughly, or maybe 300, that could be very, very big for Kaspa and of course altcoins, okay? Because that money is going to fly out of BTC and then obviously medium caps and DGeny stuff, Kaspa, whatever, right? Now we've got Mr. Titan of Crypto that is saying that Bitcoin can soon go above 100k, which is obviously programmed. BTC is heading towards the blue line of golden ratio multi-pillar. This setup feels just like November 2020. Fasten your seatbelt, according to him. So guys, you know, everything that we are experiencing at the moment is just short term, and we've got total 3 altcoin season 2025, right? Guys, you see how much of upside we basically got, right? And also from the standpoint of RSI on monthly, guys, you know, we still have a lot of time, all right? So, you know, fasten your seatbelt. So the weekly, actually that's a weekly time frame, right? So guys, fasten your seatbelt, okay? And don't be scared of these, you know, short-term pullbacks, because I do believe that the probability is more towards the upside rather than towards the downside, right? There was time to be temporarily, let's say, bearish and accumulate in this zone for BTC and other altcoins, obviously. And now guys, last not but least, you know, people are coming back to the market. This is last 5 years for BTC and crypto. Obviously we can see that BTC interest in terms of BTC is going parabolic, and now comparing it to the previous highs, we are at 75, guys, and we are nowhere near, okay? And also we've got these dots, so we don't really have this data. However, there is a uptick for crypto overall. So now people are actually realizing, well, some of the people, I believe, that BTC obviously is a little bit too big, because they see the videos, right? And they probably calculate, right, like how much money I can potentially make with BTC, and they're like, okay, I cannot make that much. So they are researching different kind of cryptos, potentially watching, you know, Kaspa videos or any other videos, right, in terms of altcoins, and they are basically doing their research, right? I do believe that money is yet to come to the market, guys, all right? So in my opinion, I wouldn't really be shaken out right now. Please remember, don't be emotional, be logical. That's what I've got for you today, and as always, guys, peace and love crypto.